Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kelly. If you're new here, then welcome to my channel. It's been a little while. I feel like I always say that, which is so bad. I've been a lot more active on Instagram the last few months. Honestly, reels have been taking over, so I've been posting some more reels on there. I did post a video though yesterday, so if you guys saw that, then you know why my hair is different than what it's been for a long time. I told that hairstylist story. So right now my hair looks like this. It's brown and very different. I still like it, but it's not like me, you know? So it's temporary. Anyways, for this video, I am very excited because my baby is about to turn 1 in a few days. And I've been a mother for almost a year now. A lot has happened in this year, and I feel like I want to talk about it. So as you can see by the title of the video, I'm going to be talking about postpartum anxiety and postpartum depression. From the heart that I really want to get out to the world. I want to tell my story and talk about like what's been helping me, because I did the same thing. Like as I was going through it, I just looked up a bunch of YouTube videos on the topic, and I took different things from different people that kind of helped. But you know, everybody has their own experience and their own insight to share, so I wanted to share my personal experience and insight. Before I ever got pregnant or became a mom, I was very prone to anxiety. I haven't shared like my full anxiety story yet, but I will, because this, you know, experience of postpartum anxiety really brought a lot of my past anxiety back into the light. So unfortunately, yes, naturally I'm an anxious person. I don't want to say that. Okay, we are not labeling ourselves. I'm not going to call myself an anxious person because I don't want to be that. I guess I'll say I'm prone to give in to anxious thoughts and worries and things like that. So that's a separate story. Like I said, I've kind of dealt with it most of my life. I didn't actually know too much about postpartum anxiety because I feel like postpartum depression is kind of like the bigger umbrella. Like it's talked about way more. Excuse my dog. So I've always heard a lot more about postpartum depression. I even know a good amount of people who have gone through postpartum depression. But in my experience, I don't remember anyone talking about postpartum anxiety. Like, it's crazy. As common as it is, I was pretty surprised about it. So when I started experiencing certain things, I was like, what the heck is going on? It wasn't until I actually looked up postpartum anxiety. I remember looking on YouTube. I only came across 2 that really like hit me. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going through the same thing. Like everything this woman is saying, I feel that. So a very big part of my story and a very big chunk of why I am dealing with anxiety is because I have a muscle condition. I kind of Googled it myself, and I believe it's called cervical dystonia. It's basically like my trap muscle here. It's hyperactive, like it never stops spasming. It doesn't hurt, but sometimes it does. Like if I feel stressed, then it starts like spasming like really hard and really tight, or in the heat, like really bad heat, it starts spasming a lot, or in the humidity. And I live in Florida. Great. But anyways, so what it does is it like tightens. It's really hard to describe, and that's why I haven't really talked about it, because I don't fully understand it myself. I've been to a couple of doctors about it, and they do agree that it's a form of dystonia. Like this part of my body is kind of like out of whack, and the signals are like misfiring or whatever. So anyways, due to that, oftentimes I can feel like out of breath, because sometimes the muscle is just so tight, like it's pulling my chest, like it's happening right now. It's pulling like it feels like it's pulling the back of this shoulder all the way to this side. It sucks. I hate it. And then there's a whole story about how it started, and I'll bring that up in my future anxiety story video, but I don't want to overwhelm you guys. Anyways, that is a major part of my anxiety, okay? So I don't want to put the full blame of my current anxiety on postpartum. It's mostly on that. because this situation affects like everything I do, and it's constant. So it's been really rough. But yeah, back to postpartum anxiety. So after I had my baby, my husband didn't get any type of like paternity leave or anything because he had just started a new job. So I was, home alone with the baby, and I was okay, for the first few months. I was feeling good. I was feeling confident. Obviously, I was a little nervous because I was a new mom, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like this human depends on me. But I was doing it. I did start getting these intrusive thoughts though. So I'm a very like safety oriented type of person. So if you are also prone to anxiety, then you understand how our minds work. So our minds kind of go to like worst case scenarios, and then you try to prepare for each scenario so that you don't feel caught off guard or like overwhelmed or even disappointed. That's a lot of how my mindset has been for a long time. I'm working on it. So I started to get these thoughts like, what if I faint and nobody's here and my baby is like on the floor or like rolls off the couch, or just like the craziest things. Okay, I felt like I had to like sit down a lot because I didn't want to like, what if I tripped and fell? I ate very slow because I was like, what if I choke on my food and I'm here by myself and nobody can help me or my baby? Like, I just thought of all the possibilities that, like, if something happened to me, then what would my baby do? Like, she's helpless, I hope this is not putting like negative thoughts into anybody's minds. It's not gonna happen. I'm just saying that's kind of how my mind was going, and I fed into it. Thankfully, when I was around 8 weeks postpartum, I actually had to start working again. So I got my mom to come and help me with the baby, and to this day she still helps, and that has been a blessing. She's the real MVP. She has helped so much. So at least I would have her for a few hours to help me with the baby so that I can get some things done, have some time for myself. So I would have some rough days, but I was pushing through. But at 6 months postpartum, that's kind of when things changed. I remember like I just felt anxious that day. Like there was like a pit in my stomach. I had no reason. I just felt anxious, and the muscle spasms were like really bad. As I was driving, I went into a full-blown panic attack, and I like freaked out. I ran out of my car. I was stopped at a red light. I put it into park. I ran out of my car. I was right next to like a parking lot, and I just ran into the parking lot, and I was like like, this whole incident only lasted a few minutes. My friend ended up coming to where I was, and everything was fine. But after that day, I kind of went into like a downward spiral, and I really, really suffered. Like for the next 3 months in particular, it was during the winter time. I remember it was around like November, December, January, February. It was like really bad, where my body was super hyper sensitive to fear. I was just always on edge. Like the anxiety was like through the roof every single day. It was awful. And I was like, what is this? Like, why is my body like going through these things? I started looking up postpartum anxiety because a couple of people had mentioned it to me, like maybe this is it. And then sure enough, I saw a lot of the symptoms were similar to what I was going through, and I was kind of confused as to why it was so late. Like the first 6 months of my postpartum experience, like I said, I felt some instances of anxiety, but it wasn't as severe as that one day. I guess because the panic attack like fed into the next few months of like fear and possibilities. And so in that season, little by little, I started developing like a lot of phobias. I didn't want to leave the house. I didn't want to drive by myself. I hated being alone with the baby, or in general. I had a lot of like obsessive, intrusive thoughts. It's just so much fear, in my body, in my mind. It's an awful feeling, because panic and the feeling of fear or anxiety is not necessarily a bad thing. Like it's supposed to help us. It's made to, keep us safe or protect us from a dangerous situation. It's not meant to be felt all day long. So when I was feeling that all day long, then, postpartum anxiety's cousin, depression came along, and it was just a really rough and dark season. My friends would hit me up, and I just like did not want to do anything. I didn't want to go anywhere. See, before being a mom, I was already kind of like a homebody, but after, forget about it. I was just home all the time. So I remember researching a lot, and I saw a lot of people kind of saying the same things, where they didn't want to drive, they didn't want to leave the house, they didn't want to be alone. They just felt like a lot of fear, a lot of what ifs were like popping in their minds, and that was exactly what I was going through. And I actually learned that some women develop postpartum anxiety, but it's a very like natural biological thing where our bodies kind of like, our senses heighten, because I guess, you know, in the ancient days, like women had to protect their children in the wilderness, so you have to like look out for danger and be very aware of everything to protect your child. So I felt like that was what I was feeling, but because I think that I was already predisposed to anxiety, it was even more. Like it was just like an extreme amount that I like could not take. It was awful. I know a lot of women turn to different things to help with that. So I kind of want to talk about what helped me, or what is still helping me currently, because, you know, different things work for different people. And I would like this to be like an open space, even in the comments, to share to like what worked for you. But let's start with the basics. So eating and sleeping. It sounds very simple, but it's so important, and a lot of women don't have a good routine when it comes to this. So when it comes to eating, I was not eating enough. Like, I know that for a fact. I was not eating enough. I felt hungry often, but my mind, it was weird. Like I felt hungry, but I wasn't hungry. I didn't have an appetite, but I knew that my stomach was empty, and I'm like, I probably should eat something. So I know a lot of times when I didn't eat, that's kind of like when my anxiety would be worse, because, you know, your body's like, hello, like, why aren't I getting fed? I remember hearing from my nutritionist, for every meal, if you could have a carb, a protein, and a vegetable, you're good to go. Even if it's like a small amount, just having that balance would help your body. I had an incident one time where I think like my blood sugar dropped because I hadn't eaten in a lot of hours, and I didn't even realize, because I was like working and just doing things around the house, and my body went into full panic. Like my heart started racing, I was like trembling. I was like, what the heck is wrong with me? I even went to urgent care, and they did a whole bunch of tests, and everything was fine, and I didn't eat. It was because I hadn't eaten. So you definitely need to eat. I know as moms it can be like hard, and sometimes we forget, but we don't forget to feed our child, so that's good. So if you can remember, just every time you're feeding the baby, whether it's nursing or with a bottle, try to feed yourself. Try to have a meal, a snack. Water is so important, like lots of water. And then sleeping. It's so hard to do when you're a new mom. It's hard to get a good rhythm, but it does come eventually. The Huckleberry app, if you guys have never heard of it, I did a whole Instagram post about it. I actually worked with them on Instagram, and you're able to like log everything throughout the day, and they kind of help you estimate like the best time for the baby's nap, like the time to prepare them to get ready to go to bed. So it's really cool. That's a really good app to have if you are very like structured, or if you want to be structured. Another thing that you really need when you're going through postpartum anxiety is support. It's really important to tell someone. Tell your spouse, your partner, your best friend, your family members, whoever. You have to tell people close to you so they can know to at least encourage you, be there for you, help you. Even if you just need to vent, have someone to talk to. You know, after you have a kid and people are all like, oh my gosh, congratulations, let me know if you need anything. That right there, that's an invite. That's when you say, you know what, I actually do. Or you can ask them like, do you really mean that? Because having someone just sitting there like in the living room, like either holding your baby, rocking your baby, just watching your baby sleep while you go like take a shower or just lay down on your bed, I'm telling you, it's so worth it. If you have that, let people help you. Give them the opportunity. Use your resources, because we need it. It really does take a village. For our sanity, we need it. I remember after just having my baby, when my husband would be at work, sometimes my parents would come visit the baby, and I would literally be like, here you go, give it to her, and just walk to my room and lay on the bed, like, because I would be so tired. So yeah, that's a really big help. Mom clubs are great. They could be in person, like if you have friends who are also moms, make a group chat, ask questions, or there are plenty of mom groups online. On Facebook, I actually just joined my local mom group. It's from my own city where I live, so I know a lot of, if you Google like the city you live, you can find mom groups in your area. Some of them get together for play dates. It could definitely be helpful to talk to other moms and realize that you are not the only one who is, struggling. So another thing that is helpful for me when I'm feeling like really bad anxiety is prayer. Releasing your inner intense emotions is so relaxing. Journaling is also really good. It allows your feelings from inside to come out. So yeah, journaling is great. Again, prayer, you can do it kind of like in your mind or out loud, just you and God. Deep belly breathing. Sometimes when we feel overwhelmed, we don't realize that we're like shallow breathing, like only like the upper part of our chest, but the deep belly breathing is where we should be breathing, from our diaphragm. And that actually helps to relax our body when we're breathing from our bellies. So when you are feeling overwhelmed, just breathe in and then out through your mouth, in through your nose, out through your mouth. That alone can make a big difference. And then being in the present. I know it sounds kind of cliche, like everybody talks about like, oh, just be in the present moment and enjoy. But no, seriously, like I'm not even talking about like having fun and enjoying. I mean like just even when you're by yourself in your living room, just be in the present moment. Because sometimes my mind can go so far and it's not helpful. Like I think I'm helping myself by being like, okay, I have to be prepared, and then all of a sudden you're feeling anxious and you're feeling scared, like, oh my god, what if that does happen? Don't do that to yourself. And I'm dealing with it. I'm learning, but I'm improving. And another thing I'm trying to practice more is visualization. Like if you feel like your mind is going like to the bad places and negative and fearful, try to visualize like a positive scenario, or you just in a positive situation. Or if there's something that you're scared of, think of or visualize yourself on the other side of it. That can be helpful to kind of like get you through it. So I'm trying to practice that. Another thing that has helped me deal with this postpartum anxiety is letting myself feel free. And what I mean by that is free of the weight of like people's opinions of me. I know being a mom is a lot of pressure. There's so many things that could make us feel so small, especially in social media. And you're looking at this mom, and you're looking at this mom, and you're looking at this mom, and look at what their kid is doing, and look at how this kid is dressed, and look at the house they live in. What I've done is I just tell myself like, be free of that. Like I don't have to compare. I don't have to, like, if my kid is in pajamas all day, she's in pajamas, like we're home, so what? I just, my nails are not done, and usually they are, but right now they're not. Let myself be free. Just let yourself be free. These are the type of things that I tell myself when I'm starting to get like, oh my gosh, but what would they think, and da 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 da. No, you don't have to have it all together all the time. I'm telling you, you're gonna come across some instances after watching this and you're gonna tell yourself, you know what? Be free. I'm gonna let myself be free on this one. It's okay. Like if you feel tired or overwhelmed and you just don't feel like cooking dinner, you did a lot already during the day, be free. Order out. It's okay. Obviously, it's not gonna be like an every single day thing, but like give yourself grace. Also going through this postpartum anxiety thing, giving myself lots of grace. Not letting the whole mom guilt thing eat me up. Did I, put on Miss Rachel? Shout out to Miss Rachel on YouTube. It's a very educational show, by the way. Sometimes I let my daughter watch that. It's actually playing right now while she's with her grandma. Sometimes I have to put it on. Do I put it on a lot? No, I'm not a huge fan of screen time, but do I put it on sometimes to let my child sit still so I can get things done? Yes. Give yourself grace. It's okay every now and then. So the next thing that has been helping me is movement. I just read something yesterday on Instagram from a health coach, and he said even if It had zero ability to change the way you look. The impact that regular exercise can have on your life is nothing short of incredible. It's medicine for your mind. It helps establish and maintain discipline, and it increases both quality and quantity of life. So that is so true. Not only does it help your physical body, but it helps your mind too. Now, I know everybody is not like a gym person, I get that, but you can do so many different things. You can go outside for a walk with your baby in the stroller. You can meet up with a mom friend and say, hey, you want to walk together and walk around the park with your babies. I actually did Pilates for a month and I loved it so much. I know they're a little bit pricey, but it is so worth it. If you can like make that investment in yourself, oh my gosh. And then if you want to get a coach, if you want to go all out, get a personal trainer, like why not? Taking care of yourself is so important, because when you are healthy, when you feel good, you're able to give yourself to your family. But when you're depleted, when you're tired, when you're angry, when you're scared, you know, just overwhelmed and exhausted, people feel that. People feel your energy, people feel your vibe, and you don't want to be like that. So you want to give yourself everything that you deserve too. Like I talked about earlier, eating, sleeping, exercise, like the basics. And it's crazy how so many new moms don't get their basic needs fulfilled. So we definitely want to do that. We want to start no matter where you are in your postpartum journey. Another option, if you like to work out from home, and I know there's some people who don't, but I do. All you gotta do is on your TV, on your smart TV, go on YouTube and search for Fit Dance, search for Mad Fit, search for Jasmine Lachey. I'm gonna leave their links below in the description box. Those are my favorite workout YouTube videos because they have dance. So you're able to pick a song that you like. They'll have some light choreography, but you're moving your body while you're dancing. It's just fun. I really love it. So I always tell my friends like, hey, if you don't like to work out, if you don't want to like pump weights or anything, at least do this. And then lastly, what's been helping me with my postpartum anxiety is professional help. So I do have a therapist and I also have a life coach. You know, when people say like, oh, gym is my therapy, or venting to my best friend, they're like my therapist, or venting to my husband, he's like my therapist. Like talking to a professional is not like talking to your friend who's just going to give their opinion. A professional therapist or counselor or psychologist, psychiatrist, whatever, they have studied the brain. They have studied how our body works. Certain habits can form issues, or how to heal, or how to process, like all these things. Professional help matters. And I understand that not everybody has the opportunity or the funds to go to a professional, but there are a lot of cheaper options. I know a lot of churches offer like counseling, a lot of them even for free. So if you check in your local area, I can't speak for all churches, but a lot of the Christian churches that I have been a part of do offer free counseling. So you can try that. You can Google in your area like affordable counseling or affordable therapy. I know a lot of people talk about the online help. There's BetterHelp, where you're able to like talk to a therapist through like your phone or a computer. I personally like the in-person vibe, but whatever works. And then like I said, a life coach. So my life coach, she's not a therapist. She has her doctorate degree. She's studied like a lot of mental health. So she's been working with me on my mindset and like helping to challenge some of my thoughts and how I can like move forward, what are my goals, and taking like small steps to reach my goals. I'm also going to leave my life coach's link in the description because she is an online coach, so she can work with anyone, anywhere. So worth it. So worth it. She is the bomb. And so is my therapist too. The bomb. I'm thankful to have these women who have been there. They're also moms, and they have both experienced some form of like anxiety, and so they get it. And then if you don't have the option of reaching out to any type of in-person professional help, then your other option can be these YouTube channels. They have helped me tremendously. First of all, Therapy in a Nutshell, God bless her. She is doing the Lord's work. I watched so many of her videos. I would watch a video a day, like every single day, during the months that I was like really suffering and really in a dark place and going through it. She just talks about everything for free, She's awesome. The next channel is The Anxiety Guy. He does very similar videos. So he talks about all his past experiences and puts them in videos and gives you like tips and gives you encouragement and affirmations, and he's great. Also, Dr. Caroline Leaf. She is awesome, one of my favorites to follow. I have like 2 of her books, her YouTube channel, her podcast. I love listening to it because, again, talking about how our mind and body works is so important, because then we're able to be like, okay, when I feel these feelings, when I feel this symptom, it's because this is triggered. It's because this is like something's affecting me here. Because now I have to like recognize like certain mindsets that I've had for a long time, and just I get curious. Is there something that my body's trying to tell me? Is there something that my mind is trying to tell me? Is there something that my mind wants to protect my body from? Things like that. So asking those questions really has helped. Also, reading is really helpful. Even if you have like a short amount of downtime when your baby's napping and you just want to like lay down and read a book, here are some that have been really helpful to me. This is called Get Out of Your Head by Jenny Allen. She is a popular Christian speaker. She talks a lot about like life and womanhood and stuff like that. So Get Out of Your Head is actually like a real book that she wrote, but this one is the study guide. I got it from Hobby Lobby. I'll leave the links below for you guys in the description. But I like the study guide because I was able to write in it, kind of like use it as a journal and just share my thoughts. So I just really liked this one. She was talking about like our thoughts and how they sometimes spiral, and instead of spiraling down, she was showing how we can spiral up instead. I have a choice what to do next with that emotion. That part right there, that small little reminder, helped me feel more in control and get a grip on myself, because I can't control anybody else or the world, but I can control myself, my thoughts. Another book I really liked, Winning the War in Your Mind. I have a lot of books, like almost all my coffee table books are about your mind, because hello, that's where the struggle's at. So this one is by Craig Groeschel, New York Times bestselling author. It says, change your thinking, change your life. He is actually a pastor. So obviously you guys know I'm a Christian, so a lot of my books are going to be faith-based, but I promise you, even if you don't believe in that stuff, there are nuggets that you can take from the books that I'm talking about. But yeah, this one was really good, really practical. That's what I liked about this. This was very, very practical. And then this one, my dear friend Morgan Harper Nichols sent me on Instagram. She posts a lot of like poems and watercolor art and really, really pretty stuff. But she sent me one of her books and I'm so, so proud of her. Love it. This is called Peace is a Practice, an invitation to breathe deep and find a new rhythm for life. I'm still in the process of reading this, but this is so nice. She talks about her experience finding out she has autism as an adult, the anxieties of life, and how to make peace a practice rather than something that is only temporary, or that you feel peace and then something else could take it away. I like the thought that, you know, peace can be something that you practice no matter where you're at, no matter what you're going through. So again, I'm going to leave the links for those below. For everyone who is struggling, like, I get it. I get it. And for such a long time, I felt so depressed. I felt like, oh my gosh, is this ever gonna end? Am I ever gonna be happy? Am I ever gonna enjoy life? I was so angry too on the inside, because I'm like, why am I feeling this way? I have a baby. Like, I should be so happy. I should be so like excited, and I am, don't get me wrong. It's like the strangest thing. I'm sure if you deal with postpartum anxiety, you can relate. It's like the most happiest time of your life paired with like almost the hardest time of your life at the same time. It's so weird, but that's what I was feeling. And honestly, sometimes I still feel. I'm not on the other side of this, by the way. Like, I'm still in it. I'm still going through it. I'm so, so thankful for the support that I have. My husband has been very supportive. My parents are always there for me. My best friends. Like, I'm very, very, very thankful for my support system. I pray that you guys find one. If you don't have one within your own blood, that's okay. You can create your own family with friends, people close to you, mentors, you know. But it's so important. We are not meant to be isolated. Don't isolate yourself, please. Like, tell people, share your heart. Again, even if it's with a Facebook group full of moms and the mom was like on the other side of the country, that is okay. Like, just venting to another human who is going through the same thing as you is so helpful. Vulnerability is a must. So this video, I think, is pretty long at this point. I'm gonna end it here, but I really hope that my experience can at least make somebody else feel seen and validated and heard. I know I felt seen when I heard other people share and talk about their experiences. I hope some of the tips help you guys. Small changes make big improvements over time. Small itty bitty steps make a big step later. Don't push yourself to the side. It's really important to care for yourself so that you can care for your child and, you know, your whole household. If you have experienced this at all, please let us know in the comments. If you have any encouragement or just tips that worked for you, share along with other women who are looking to get the help. So if you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you in my next video. Bye.
Are you filming?
Yeah.
Come on, Mama. Show Mommy that you're walking. Show Mommy you're walking. Show Mommy you're walking completely. Show Mommy you're walking completely. See? Leave now. That recorded the whole thing for a long while.
Say hi.